Good afternoon and welcome to the Victoria Advocate. I'm Becky Cooper, Managing Editor. Joining us on the table is Chapo the Wonder Cat. He's here to pay us a visit and see what's going on. And with me also at the table,
Tony Blandron, City Editor.
And behind the camera,
Thomas Martinez, Digital Editor.
Let Tom know if you have any comments, questions, concerns, or if you want to just tell Chapo hi, he can do that for you too. Chris is in a meeting as usual, so we'll take care of this one for us for the paper.
He was looking at your shoestring.
See ya, Cat.
Before we get started, I have two trivia questions for you today. He's going to jump in one of those boxes.
And he's going to get real dusty. Those are so dusty.
You need to either throw the boxes out or get new boxes or something. Okay, here's the questions. What is the national dish of Barbados?
Barbados sandwiches. Barbados lasagna.
It's an island country, so it has some probably seafood or something.
Jambalaya.
Barbados. Yeah, jambalaya.
That'd be good.
Barbados omelets.
Okay. And here, for you movie buffs, here's a question for you.
Oh, here we go.
What do Mike Myers, Christopher Walken, Matt Dillon, and Justin Timberlake all have in common? You probably know that.
Oh, he would?
Well, both. I think both of y'all would know this if you thought about it.
They're both actors and in bands. Nope.
Who are the ones? Mike Myers, Justin Timberlake.
Christopher Walken and Matt Dillon. Mike Myers, Christopher Walken, Matt Dillon, and Justin Timberlake.
You know, Christopher Walken was a ballroom dancer at one time. He was a trained ballroom dancer.
Oh, maybe they're all dancers and actors.
Okay, well,
Actors who can dance.
we'll find out in a few minutes. Okay, so on the budget for today.
They're all born in Canada.
We have our centerpiece is a story about the CCA Coastal Conservation Association Star Tournament that runs from late May to September and involves $1 million in prizes. And the story is about what keeps people from winning if they're not registered members of the CCA. If they catch a fish that's been tagged, what do they need to do? And some people are subject to polygraph if they're thought to be cheating. The kayak one's moving. We have a story on another a man from outside of our area who was in Palacios, contracted Vibrio and died. We have a story about the estate of Harold Nichols, the local artist, who's a very good artist, sculptor, and general just artsy person. When he died several years ago. Now his family or his estate is having an estate sale. So we'll have photos and a story about Elaine on that. Which I imagine some of those pieces are pretty amazing that they're going to be selling. I doubt they go for a nickel or a dime like most garage sale type stuff. We'll have a regional roundup. We'll have a news about Rebuild Texas giving out a bunch of grants in our area for roof repairs, like to schools, for just a huge amount of money. I think it's over $2 million to various organizations. We have 13 kids, 4-H kids, competing at the state shooting tournament in San Antonio. It started today. There's a fan drive going on in Cuero. Get out. For all of y'all who like going to the theater, Mamma Mia is our centerpiece story. And the Climax ladies, mom and daughter, was it Kate and Laura Thomas? They have the lead roles.
I wonder if Chris is going to go see that. Or Paula's going to make him.
Paula may make him. Chris is not a ABBA fan. That's the music is.
He hates ABBA. There's a difference.
Okay.
Not being a fan and hating ABBA.
Okay. Then we also have a preview on Casey Donahue, who will perform at Schrader on the 19th. And we have about a new art exhibit opening on the 25th at the Nave. It's called Underdog by Patricia Compton. She's from Refugio but was raised in Goliad. I don't know what Flix is about this week. It's not on here. And in sports, The Generals. I don't know who they're playing, but Kendall will be shooting and Tyler will be writing.
It'll be one of those situations. Tony will probably file at about 8:30. So if I'm not here, you'll have to read it.
Say it again.
Tyler in a general story like he did Friday night.
So, what's his angle then? It can't be the story.
No, it's not the game. He was gonna find an angle before the game,
Oh.
or I talked to him about it yesterday, but he didn't have an angle yet.
You talking to him about the other thing too?
Yeah.
She left with an IV in her arm.
Oh my God.
Apparently she left against medical advice. Wow. Okay, you got anything going on in the wire?
Oh, yeah, the World Health Organization declared the Ebola outbreak in Congo a global health emergency.
Again?
It says it's spread this week to a city of 2 million people. So look out, people. This could get out of hand.
Yeah.
It's the end of the world as we know it.
A WHO expert committee had declined on 3 previous occasions to advise the United Nations Health Agency to make the declaration for this outbreak, which other experts say has long met the conditions. More than 1,600 people have died since August in the second deadliest Ebola outbreak in history, which is unfolding in a region described as a war zone.
Mm.
And then more on the fallout and debate of the Trump tweets. Confusion, fear spread on Mexico border with new U.S. policy. This is asylum seekers gathered in Nuevo Laredo across the border from Texas grappled to understand what a new U.S. policy that all but eliminate refugee claims by Central Americans and many others meant for their bids to find a better life in America amid a chaos of rumors, confusion, and fear. He was a little confusing. El Chapo was sentenced to life in prison today.
Good.
In U.S. prison.
Is he gonna stay up in New York or is he gonna come down somewhere else?
Well, he was
bet he
sentenced in
goes
New
to-
York.
I bet you he goes to Supermax in Colorado.
Oh, somewhere
Well,
with empty.
they probably won't say where he is. Oh, experts say he will likely wind up at the federal government's Supermax prison in Florence, Colorado. How do you know that was there?
That's where they send all the really bad people.
Where inmates are held along for 23 hours, or held,
Alone?
It's all
they said
there.
along. They mean alone for 23 hours a day and have little human interaction. Since the government will send me to a jail where my name will not ever be heard again, I take this opportunity to say there was no justice here. Oh, he's 62? I didn't realize he was that age.
He gets to talk to Ted Kaczynski and all those other weirdos.
Kaczynski still
Is he
around?
still alive?
No, but
Oh.
I was thinking of the second guy in Oklahoma City bombing,
Oh, no.
Terry somebody or whatever.
Oh, yeah. Because McVeigh
Yeah,
he was executed.
executed. Now the really bad people go to Florence, Colorado.
Really?
Yeah.
The Supermax, huh?
Supermax.
Can people just visit there? Is it a tourist attraction?
You
No.
can probably drive by it, but that's about it. I would
That's
imagine.
probably
Is that near Canyon City?
Yeah, Florence was right next to Canyon City.
Okay. So I always thought the big house was in Canyon City.
It's in between, actually, I think.
Yeah. Well, I hope to be there in September.
in prison?
Yeah. No, in Canyon
Something you're
City.
forgetting to tell us, Tony?
No, I want to go see the Royal Gorge in September.
You know, this time he's been taking off, he's been saying, you know, he's going to see family. Actually, he's going to court appearances.
Yeah, we're in court appearances. But no, we're cutting it close because I'm planning to travel second week of September, and my friend Louie's like, yeah, I wouldn't go any later than that because the weather's going to turn.
Ken, you'll be safe through October.
We can't go to Pikes Peak though. The Cog Railroad. they're redoing the whole track, and it won't be done until next year, till late next year, I think. Have you ever been up to Pikes Peak? Oh, if you ever go up there, you gotta take the Cog Railroad to Pikes Peak. It's a nice. I love it. One time when we went up there, you know, it takes an hour almost an hour and a half because it's climbing on this track, and then the attendant said, "Yeah, it took us an hour and a half to get up there. It's going to take us 10 minutes to get down."
Yeah. My father-in-law took the Silverton train?
There is a Silverton.
It's near Durango or something?
Yeah.
Well, also we went to the bridge, the Royal Gorge, and the track and the train under it. There's
Can
a
you
train.
drive over the bridge? Or walk?
Yeah.
You can drive over.
You
can
gotta
also
pay
walk
extra,
in.
don't you?
It is something to behold, though, man. That's so cool.
My sister's like, no way is she gonna go on that bridge.
You can feel it. You can feel it swaying.
I've walked across it.
On a windy day, you probably don't want to go.
It's safe.
They also have a gondola in the air that it's on a cable that you can just
Go all the way down.
well no well that and also you can go across the gorge.
Across
too.
the gorge.
I've been on that.
That would be a little scary, I think.
Wow.
A bridge is just so tall, so huge. Looking down, you can barely see the.
Is it the highest in the
I
world? Or it's probably in our country.
I think it is. Suspended bridge.
It's amazing. And people have bungee jumped off that
No.
thing.
Look
Yeah.
at that.
They don't do it a lot.
I'm not even sure they allow it anymore.
I've always wanted to parachute, but have never wanted to bungee jump.
I wouldn't parachute in that canyon.
No.
You'd hit a wall.
No. I'm gonna find a wide open place. On the statewide, we have leaders of a town of Mineral Wells are abandoning a proposal that would have essentially banned abortions in their community. Here's a weird story today. A Houston man alleges in a federal lawsuit that the state psychiatric prison where he was held was deliberately understaffed, and that this prevented anyone from stopping him from using a plastic spoon to blind himself during a psychiatric episode. Apparently he removed his eye.
Why is the cat doing that?
What's that? Out or somewhere.
Robbie just went and picked him up, but
That's fine. And a Texas volunteer with a Christmas program benefiting children of incarcerated parents has been charged with stealing donations and returning them to store credit or gift cards. Returning them for store credits or gift cards. That's stealing from the thieves.
yeah, that's horrible. Man.
That's just not right. And a story of Abilene about a nuclear reactor. That's about it.
Is he in the library?
And I think he's out that door wanting to go out.
Where is he?
He wants to go in.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And
Well, in the sports it says McElroy knows this is not just another British Open. Harper's 2-run double in 9th rallies Phillies past Dodgers. What's he doing? Anyway,
okay.
I'm gonna put out a note for kitty fund donations
Oh yeah.
since it's payday's this Friday. And I think, well, no, I'll tell you later.
Trivia question answers?
Answers. What is the national dish of Barbados? Anybody? Flying fish and cuckoo, a cornmeal and okra porridge.
Oh.
So I knew it was some seafood, but never heard of the cuckoo part. Okay, here's one y'all know. Why do Mike Myers, Christopher Walken, Matt Dillon, and Justin Timberlake all have in common?
They were all born in Canada.
No.
Do you know?
You're dancing, I guess. Dancing.
Well, you're close. You're close. They all have appeared in Madonna music videos. Myers was in Beautiful Stranger, Dylan and Walken were in Bad Girl, and Timberlake was in 4 Minutes.
Matt Dillon?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Doesn't mean he's actually dancing. Just
He may have just been standing there, looking pretty.
Matt Dillon was in this movie that they shot around Lawrence, Kansas. And when I was in college, and there were some colleagues of mine that showed up to be extras, and they thought it was like going to be a quick process, and they said that they would wait for hours because Dylan wouldn't everyone was waiting for him to show up. And the people in the movie business that they were talking to said they thought it was very unprofessional of him because he held up the production.
That was back when you probably had some kind of
Yeah,
leverage. Nowadays, he's probably
he's a has-been.
Yeah.
He's definitely a has-been. I can't remember the last movie he made that I saw him in was called Nothing But the Truth. He played a prosecutor prosecuting a journalist for withholding or not divulging their sources.
Well, with that information on Matt Dillon, we'll sign off. If you have any questions, comments, or story ideas, let Tom know or Tony know, and they'll pass them on to us. We'll be back here tomorrow, same time. We'll see you then.